Sarah, here to take you along the ride into the depths of what our minds have to offer. Very specifically, my mind, because I don't know who else to dive into yet. Maybe, just maybe, we have a guest for our first podcast. How about that? Welcome to the podcast, my wonderful fiance, Tomas.
Glad to be here.
Hello, Tomas.
Hello, Sarah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you?
Better now that you're here.
Oh, is that right?
So I was thinking it would be fun if, for the first podcast, we went and answered some questions from the World Wide Web.
Okay.
How does that sound to you?
Sounds good to me.
Oh, good. So, first question here. What do you consider your greatest attribute?
I would say my greatest attribute is my willingness to explore. Yeah. It's a pretty broad statement, but explore, ask questions, be curious, wander.
That's awesome to hear. I think that's a good choice.
What about yours?
I would say my drive to better understand my feelings, my existence in the world, and help other people do that for themselves too.
It's good.
What would you say that my greatest attribute is?
Your ability to be genuine.
Terry.
Yeah. It's a hard ability these days. There aren't a lot of genuine people anymore.
I would actually have to agree with you.
Yeah.
On your answer for your greatest attribute, which is like your willingness to fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared to do that, and you're like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, what's
I'm
worse
one of
that
the
happens?
people scared of it, and I'm like, no, don't do it. But
I
also, you bring a nice dose of that to the table so that I actually am more willing to fuck around and find out.
Yeah. I think it's the scapegoat aspect. And a lot of people are afraid of looking silly or embarrassed. And
You just assume that you look silly all the time.
I don't assume it. I know it. I know I look silly. But the thing is, I've discovered that when I explore, almost nobody has come up to me with negative opinions. Quite the opposite, actually. Just the other day, there's a gal in the lead gen class. Her name is Tasha.
Shout out Tasha.
Yeah, shout out Tasha. She said, Tom, you look like a sociable guy. You're willing to go out there and like talk. And I told her, it's interesting you say that because I really don't like it.
You're like, I'm faking it really fucking well right now. Thank you for commenting on it.
Yeah. Anyways, what I was saying about people feeling embarrassed or wanting someone to do it first so that they're not the only one is that once someone does something, it kind of opens other people to do the same.
Yeah.
And so if I'm the one who does it first, I might look silly, but there are going to be a couple other people who are joining me.
Yeah, it gives
And
them the
then-
courage to actually stand up and do something.
And when enough people are doing it, it's no longer silly. It's just the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Or it ends very badly for the first person, and then someone gets a good anecdote to tell.
It's like being the person that's willing to freestyle when you're hanging out. Like, you just throw on some beats, and it might be a shitty rhyme, but, like, at least you tried.
Yeah, I would never do that. Props to those people.
Exactly.
I'm not
It takes a
doing that.
lot.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to another question. What do you consider your greatest weakness?
My ego.
Ooh, say more.
Well, I'm trying to formulate the words. I can visualize in my mind what I'm talking about. I just need to get the words.
How does it show up? Go.
It's imposter syndrome. Like I never feel like I deserve to be where I'm at. It feels like the compliments that I get, such as the one from Tasha or others who are saying, oh, you're really smart, you are very explorative or brave or whatever, it doesn't feel real. It's like I spent so long with such a low self-esteem, and even though it's getting better and I hear these comments, it's really hard to fight the voice that was so loud for so many years.
I think it's interesting because I know simultaneously there's like another voice inside of you that's like, ooh, and just because of that, we're gonna.
He's basically God.
Yeah. Your ego is both the person that like is like, I'm all that and a bag of chips, but also the person that's like, what the fuck do you think you're special for?
Exactly.
Yeah. Good little leveling.
Yeah.
I think you kind of have to have a healthy balance of those. And once you start tipping the scales where you have a little bit too much of the God complex ego, or you go down to the other end, it's like shit kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a God complex and people are going to stop hanging out with you. They don't like it.
Or
if
you're
your
just a
self-esteem goes too
doormat.
low, then you abuse yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if they're constantly at war with each other, you get normal people.
Just regular old people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like a duck. I'm calm and collected on the surface, but underneath I'm furiously paddling.
Oh my God. Now I'm just imagining a little duck with its little furious legs.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible. Incredible
Yeah.
creatures. Maybe I'm more like a goose.
I was gonna quack, but
Geese don't quack. How about you just answer the question instead?
I would say that it's probably perfectionism. Expecting myself to be perfect all the time, seeing things in black and white to where I have to be doing everything that's on my mind at the same time in one day, or else I'm like a complete failure. Like I have to check all of the boxes of what I expect myself to do in a day, and it makes it so that I'm not able to like live in the moment because I'm just like striving constantly.
Furiously paddling.
Furiously paddling. Yeah. What would you say my greatest weakness is?
I'd probably agree. It's perfectionism. Yeah. It's another broad statement. It encompasses a lot, and it just boils itself down to perfectionism. So any of the smaller flaws that came to mind just boil down to being a perfectionist.
Yeah. Basically.
What'd you say mine is?
I would say the amount of pressure that you put on yourself.
That makes sense.
The pressure and expectation that you put on yourself. Because I think, like me, you expect yourself to do everything in a day. I've seen a lot less of it recently since you haven't been working at the papers anymore. But before it was like very much so you had to be doing everything or it's all a complete loss and then you lose all motivation.
I think it stems from having more time.
Mm-hmm.
When I worked from 10:30 p.m. to roughly 9 in the morning, give or take.
And more fun things to like check off the list of things to do in the day. It's not okay, go to work for 7 hours, come home, try and do real estate. Huh? Well, it depends. Like I would say that it would probably round out like in the time that I've known you, it would probably level out around 7. Because there were times where you like didn't have to throw a route. That was like not a lot, but
that was like 2 straight months where I only had to throw one route that took 35 minutes.
Yeah,
that was incredible. That
and
blew
then
the
there's
whole
other
ratio.
times where you would have like 4 hours of work a night. Like I'd say that it varied, but
towards the end that wasn't.
If you would like me to say 10, I can say 10.
No, it's
instead.
Fine. That's ego.
Okay.
No.
That's real life representation.
Towards
of it.
the end, I was working quite a bit, and it was really hard to manage everything that I wanted to do to set myself up for afterwards.
Especially because you were so like anticipatory about the time off that you were going to have and then the subsequent jumping into a new career head on.
Yeah.
Like all of that boiled down. You're like, I need to be doing everything, but I can't do anything right now, but I need to be doing something because I'm not doing anything right now.
Well, that stems from having mentors that have been in the game for 2+ years.
Yeah.
These are people who know a lot more than me,
Yeah.
who are a lot more knowledgeable, and I'm supposed to compete with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is fun, I will say. Trying to live up to that sort of a standard that I did not set, it kind of helps the ego go down a little bit and just recognize that there are people who are smarter than me and I can learn from them rather than just not know anything and be in the background and never succeed.
Yeah. I feel like that's something that both of us don't really take into consideration a whole lot. We have a lot more recently because we've actually like pointed it out and been aware of it. But that like people are a lot older than us, or they've been doing it a lot longer than us, and it's not like, why are they so much better than me? It's more of like, okay, so that's something that I could look forward to being after I put 2 years of work into, like, oh, that's actually possible, instead of like, oh God, why am I not there yet? You know?
Yeah. Should we save the parentified thing for another podcast?
I mean, we can take pieces of what we want and figure it out.
Well, I was going to say it probably stems from being an adult for the last 14 years.
Yeah.
Having all the responsibilities of an adult without the respect.
Yeah, and never knowing if you're doing it quite right or if you're, where you're supposed to be, because it's like you already know that you're not.
Yeah.
Like there's a part of you that knows like I should not be having this amount of responsibility on me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, am I fulfilling my responsibilities well enough? Even though they're not technically yours.
Yeah. Well, and then if you tell an adult, like if you were winding the clock back, going to 13, and you tell an adult that you have the responsibilities of an adult and the respect of a kid, they're going to laugh at you.
Yeah,
They're
they're like,
what are
how
you doing?
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And granted, when you're a kid, it feels like adult responsibilities, and then you become an adult and you realize that you still didn't have adult responsibilities, but they felt like it.
Yeah. I actually thought of that because I was driving home when school was getting out today, and I went to Safeway to check for the star fruit, and there were like a couple dudes that were walking out, and they like had like a bunch of snacks, right? They just like went to Safeway on the way home to get some snacks, and I was just thinking back to that time, and I was like, oh my God, to have $10 burning a hole in your pocket and absolutely nothing better to spend it on than snacks. Like,
It's a good feeling.
yeah, I was able to like vicariously live in that moment with them for just a moment and be like, I remember back when $10 was a lot of money and you didn't have anything better to spend it on.
Yeah. I mean, even $10 now wouldn't get you much.
It really would not.
Bag of chips is $5.19 now.
Little
Unless they're on
Caesar's
sale.
pizza is $8.
Yeah, who the fuck do they think they are?
McDouble, $4. You know what? Actually, I'm not as mad about the McDouble anymore because I actually paid attention to the prices of the double smoked bacon sandwich at Starbucks. $6.86 or something like that. Plus
After
tax.
A plus tax?
Yeah.
That's a weird number before tax.
I don't fucking know what it was. Okay. It was like here, hold on. Maybe it'll tell me.
It's
on
still
the app.
absurd. Those
It
aren't
was
even that good.
absolutely
It's a
I
frozen
was like,
sandwich.
okay, McDonald's, you're allowed to do that because Starbucks is costing way more. Like, what the fuck? A drink and a sandwich is $10 or more.
Yeah, it's not that much different with fast food either.
Yeah.
I still
don't know how we got off.
I understand how Little Caesars can charge that much for a pizza and how they got there. But I hope they know that the reason anybody, including myself, ever went to Little Caesars was for the $5 pizza. Yeah, it was.
That's kind of
you
how
paid for
I feel like
$5
Subway
a
should
pizza
get that message as well. Fuck you, Subway. Bring back the $5 actual footlong, you fucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Little Caesars is definitely better than when we were kids. They changed some ingredients, got a little fresher. It ain't worth no $8 for a pepperoni pizza. If I'm paying $8 for a pizza, I'll just go next door to McDonald's. And here, where we're at, that actually is right next door to Little Caesars. So it's not even that big of a deal.
Well, I can't check the price of the sandwich because the store is closed now.
Just Google it. It's worth a Google. Let me
Hey,
Google it
Google.
here.
How much does a double smoked bacon from Starbucks Coffee House cost?
It says the double smoked bacon, cheddar, and egg sandwich, $5.45. The bacon, sausage, and egg wrap is $6.25.
While we're on that note, talking about the bacon and sausage egg wrap, that shit bland.
I
Like,
don't know what
bring
that
a
means.
packet of ketchup with you or something. They have sriracha there, but
At Starbucks?
yes,
How progressive.
no ketchup. And that burrito is bland as hell.
Huh.
It's not worth the $7. Most of the other sandwiches are super soggy as well.
How are you going to have sriracha and no ketchup?
That's my fucking question. Why
It's
Starbucks?
That's a weird
We
combination.
have a question for you. I mean, it's probably because they don't have any, like, fries. Like, most of their things, I'm pretty sure we got that on. Hold on. Shasta, you have anything to say?
I don't think she does. She's tired of us two idiots just talking about sriracha and
She's
pizza.
always under the bed. Just
Groaning away.
Just groaning.
I wonder why she groans down there, not on the couch. I never hear her groaning on the couch. It's only under the bed.
She does it when she readjusts herself, like, on the couch. She'll, like...
So maybe she's just readjusting on the flat surface.
Maybe.
Yeah.
With no room to wiggle.
No, there's room.
Yeah,
There's quite a bit of
actually
room
is
down there. Like
Not to get in.
if I could get my cheeks beyond the bottom of this, I could actually chill out down there for a while.
You probably shouldn't.
No, probably not. Especially after that spider just showed up.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah, we got to go to bed in 2 hours.
I'm gonna have the willies.
Did I ever tell you what movie made me check under the toilet seat every single time?
Arachnophobia.
It's Arachnophobia. Because in the first 10 minutes, I think it was Bill Murray, he got killed off by a spider crawling somewhere near his hindquarters. And I'd like to think that he got bit on the beehole and died.
Does Bill Murray die in the beginning of a lot of movies?
I don't think so. I think that's the only one. It was a weird movie. I don't think there were a lot of A-list
He dies within
actors.
moments of being on Zombieland.
Well, moments after his introduction, but that's towards the end of the movie.
But yeah, he's only in the movie for like 4 seconds.
I mean, I guess, yeah, if you think about it, it's only one scene or so. Because then he gets shot in the chest by, it's not Michael Cera. Who is that guy? Jesse Eisenberg? Is that his name? Jesse Eisenberg,
yeah.
I think. The guy who looks kind of like Michael Cera.
Yeah, I thought it was...
but with balls.
I thought it was the other guy, the Twinkie guy.
That's Michael Cera.
No, Woody Harrelson. Is that his name?
What? Woody Harrelson's not a twink.
Not a twink. The Twinkie guy.
Oh, shit.
God fucking
The snack.
damn.
The snack. My bad. My bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, he's the guy who enjoys Twinkies.
The Twinkie guy.
I thought it was an adjective,
Oh my God.
not a snack. I forgot about Twinkies. I don't eat them very often. They're not very good.
I can't honestly tell you the last time that I purposely bought a Hostess snack.
Really?
I think it leaves way too much film in your mouth. Like, at this point,
Even Snowballs?
I've never, like, gone out of my way to eat a Snowball.
Huh.
I grew up on, like, those grandma's cookies that come in packs of 2.
Yeah, they're like
The
$1.
peanut butter ones.
Yeah. I always like the cinnamon raisin.
Yeah?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Says fucking no one ever.
No, I'd buy like 2 of those.
No,
and some milk.
there's a time and a place for cinnamon raisin.
Yeah. Well, with Grandma's brand, they were all soft.
Yeah, they were real soft.
Yeah.
There's definitely a time and a place for the chocolate one too.
Chocolate chip or the double
no,
chocolate?
the double chocolate
Yeah.
one.
Chocolate chip is,
Chocolate chip was mid.
I wouldn't even say mid, at least from
Yeah.
Grandma's. I mean, I love me some chocolate chip cookies, but the Grandma's brand,
It wasn't
No,
it.
it wasn't
Especially
great.
with some strong players like the peanut butter.
Yeah. Or you could just go next to the
With
aisle
little-
of Chips Ahoy.
They had that's wrong. Oh, with chocolate chips.
Chocolate chip.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like instead of the peanut butter ones.
No.
The fact that they use like crunchy peanut butter or like the little pieces of peanut in it.
That was pretty good.
Now I really want some grandma's cookies.
Too bad we're recording a podcast. We should get back to the questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, those were the only ones that I actually wanted to ask because all of the other ones are kind of deep. Okay, this one. What is your greatest hope for our marriage?
Is that supposed to be not deep?
Well, the other ones are like, what do you admire most about your mom and why?
Oh, yeah.
What was your favorite vacation as a couple?
I don't think we've taken a vacation. Yeah, we did.
I mean, we've gone to Seattle. We've gone to
Utah.
I
Yeah.
think we've gone.
I mean,
to, like,
every day
Walla
with you is
Walla.
practically a vacation.
Oh, dearie. You're so sweet. Back to the
Well,
fucking
I
question.
mean it.
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
What's your
It's
greatest
kind
hope
of
for our
like
marriage?
working a job that you love.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You do the work because, like, you actually
Yeah,
want
you
to.
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I exist here with you because I want to.
Yeah, I feel it.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the question?
Even when it's hard work, it's worth the hard work.
Yeah.
The question is, what is your greatest hope for our marriage?
There are a lot of things that I hope, but my greatest hope is that we can continue to communicate with each other and be open enough with each other that we live the rest of our lives together.
Oh, dearie.
Yeah.
Guess what my answer was?
What's that?
A life partner.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well, good.
So we basically had the same answer.
Pretty much, but I understand that's going to be a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah.
And choosing in,
Yeah?
even when you're pissed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm never pissed.
Oh, I'm not saying yet.
Well, hold on.
This is future.
I paused at the wrong time.
When
I'm
you
almost
are
constantly pissed. I was going to say that I'm not pissed at you. I'm
Yeah.
pissed at what you may have done or said,
Yeah. Or
but
the
I'm not pissed at the
situation.
person.
Yeah, that's a big.
Yeah.
Big
The situation is more like it.
Yeah.
The lack of understanding is what I'm pissed off about. I'm not pissed off about you.
Yeah.
That would build resentment over time.
Big facts.
Yeah. It's sad that a lot of people don't come to that realization. They're never pissed at the person. They're pissed at the situation or the lack of understanding or what they did or what they said, and all of that can be rectified.
Yep.
Unless
Once
you
you're
don't
pissed
want
at
it
the
to.
person, every
Honestly-
interaction that you have with that person is now tainted, especially if you don't like work to feel differently.
Yeah. I think if you don't compartmentalize it into, oh, they said that and it upset me, it just becomes, oh, I'm pissed at
They
you for
upset
saying
me.
this.
You upset me. You as an entire person upset me. Because I feel like what that does to the person on the receiving end is makes it feel like your love is conditional towards them.
Yeah.
You know? If you're like you make me mad. You're upsetting me. Like you're like I was gonna say you're hurting my feelings, but that one's kind of.
I mean, there's time and a place for that phrase
Yeah.
too, because if someone is actively hurting your feelings, then you can say, you are hurting my feelings.
Yeah, that I feel like that one is at least acknowledging like your part in it.
Yeah.
It's just telling somebody where you're at instead of
Yeah.
like placing all of the blame on them.
Yeah.
But I guess it kind of comes down to the way that the person takes it. But
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the context too. Like someone's triggers are not your responsibility, it's theirs. But at the same time, if it's your spouse who's saying, hey, your words are hurting my feelings, if you care, you should probably analyze what it is
yeah, absolutely.
and change it.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound like I'm like, okay.
That was a
from
bit
what you're
cunty.
saying. That's not what I just remembered where I was going by bringing that up, and that's why I was like,
Oh, I
back to
know.
what
You
was
don't have to
saying.
tell me.
Okay.
I get your mannerisms and stuff, and maybe your listeners won't, but I do.
Yeah.
And I'm the guest.
And I'm the guest.
They get to
I'm
just
not
tune in.
mad about it. You don't have to be
Yeah.
mad about it.
Your trigger is not our responsibility.
If you get triggered, talk to your therapist about it.
Yeah.
Don't go to the comment section
You can go to the comment section.
and then talk to your therapist about it.
Yeah. I would certainly enjoy reading that comment.
Getting a little wobbly there. But what I was trying to get to.
Did you forget?
No, hold on.
I think you forgot.
When you don't assign the upset to the person themselves, it lets you know, I still love you. I'm upset with what happened. I'm upset with the way that you reacted. I'm upset with how dinner went or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes the other person more open to listening, and it also allows them to feel like, okay, I can help you through this situation rather than I need to defend myself.
Can I point out why?
Yeah, go for
All of those were I statements.
it. Yeah.
They weren't necessarily accusatory.
Yeah.
I statements, at least I feel, there's one, are very valuable. It kind of acknowledges your own responsibility. It explains the why to your spouse. And on I don't want to say manipulative level, but on an analytical level, if I were to make an I statement, like for instance, if you were to hurt my feelings and I say, I feel hurt by what you just said, and you double down, then it speaks to me saying that you really don't care about me, and I can choose how much I invest going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't exactly call that manipulation, but
No.
I mean, if you're doing that intentionally, it would be manipulation. But it does let the other person, or let you see who the other person really is when you become open and honest and genuine, and the other person does not reciprocate.
Yeah. It also, I feel like that lets you know how much to invest in a relationship, like emotionally, how much to invest, because it's like, okay, if we can't like be productive here, I would always try to I would say I would like to try to further that conversation if it was possible, to get to a point of like, okay, you just doubled down.
Yeah, that's a warning shot.
Interesting.
It's a warning shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, we've already talked about this.
Slightly off topic, but I was on the phone with, who was it earlier? Oh, it was Casey, one of my mom's contacts that she sent me. She works at Country Gentleman.
Shout out Casey.
Shout out Casey.
And Country Gentleman,
And
whatever
Country
that may be.
It's a restaurant / catering company. Anyways, I was on the phone with her, and she knew Erica Lalka, who recruited me into Keller Williams, and I think she might be offended by the name that some people gave her. They call her like the bulldog of real estate, and it shows. She does not take no for an answer, and she's one of the best recruiters I have ever experienced. And the reason for that is she said in front of a presentation or something she was giving that I had attended, Erica had said, when it comes to calling, like if someone that she's calling over and over and over doesn't pick up the phone, she will leave a ballsy voicemail such as, oh, I love calling you and you love ignoring me, but when you're ready to talk. And I'm just like, dude, that takes balls. Steel balls to leave
Just
a voicemail
call it
like
exactly how it is
Exactly.
with somebody that
Like,
you may or may not have met in person.
I know. This is just a lead. This is just a cold call. Well, hopefully it's more than a cold call, but I have balls, but not that big.
That lady got balls.
She's got balls. And it works. She's one of the most effective across the board. There are so many people who have talked about her methods and what she does as being the best recruiter in the Tri-Cities, if not the state. She's very widely regarded around here.
Good for her.
Yeah. I don't remember what our topic was and how we got a little bit off topic. But
Yeah, I don't either.
no.
But I think we should wrap up this podcast. It's almost 7:30.
So what?
Give us a little wind down time. I'm going to do some yoga.
I mean, I'm winding down. Is this not wind down time? What's our timestamp?
36 minutes.
Jesus Christ, really?
Yes.
Oh my God. We've been talking for 36 minutes. Yeah, maybe you should roll the outro that I created. I didn't create it. I snipped it. I snipped it and put it on the soundboard.
So I actually don't know how to change.
Go to the panel that's the touch screen.
It doesn't.
What?
Yeah, you can't access that. Oh, actually.
Yeah, there you go. And go to board 2.
There we go.
It's the only button.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Tomas, for being on the podcast today.
I'm Tomas now. Are you getting a phone call?
Is it connected to Bluetooth right now?
It is connected to Bluetooth.
All right, let's bring T into this.
I can't hear him.
Well, hello.
All right. Welcome, Timothy, to the podcast.
Hello, my friend.
How are
volume
you
up.
today?
There you go.
Chilling. Just got off work. Wasn't too busy.
Nice.
Were they trying to cut labor?
No, they had 3 of us because they had one training and then they had one staying later to help train. So I got sent home a little early.
Nice, I think.
No.
No?
That means less money.
Oh, that's terrible. We'll fight him.
Throwing hands.
Throwing hands.
I'm a down-ass bitch. If it's good, we'll go. If it's bad, we'll go.
Let's go either way.
It's pretty cool that we can have 2 microphones connected to the same phone call.
Can I come through?
Absolutely. I would love for you to come through. Let's get a round of applause from the audience.
Mental Odyssey, a Dream and Do podcast, is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
If only. The studio audience is us.
It's the dogs.
It's Shasta groaning under the bed.
Yeah.
She is the live studio audience. Alrighty, well, we're going to wrap this up. And T, we will see you soon. Thank you for joining us on Mental Odyssey. Mental Odyssey is a Dream and Do podcast, produced and edited by yours truly. The music is owned by Chill Hop, and this song is Velocities by Sleepy Fish. Go check them out. Thanks for being here.